Chapter 1 Diary System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Family members, who knows? Didn't I just take the newly bought Bibi Dong doll and open a copy? Why did you suddenly travel to Douluo continent? The key is, it's not impossible for me to travel to Douluo continent, but at least let me complete the copy. Now I am in trouble, not even good, not to mention how miserable I am. A 106-character diary, following the thoughts of a boy who looked about 12 years old, quickly appeared on the diary that was emitting colorful light in front of him. Looking at the 106 diary mall points, the boy named Shen Fan sighed quietly and murmured to himself. It's really speechless. In other people's systems, as long as the binding is successful, they will directly send a novice gift package. But when it comes to my place, there is not even a clue. Never mind. After all, it's 1,000 words. When I wrote novels in the original world, the most I could get was about 10 yuan per 1,000 words. Now let's talk about 1,000 words. In the original world, this is something that can make you laugh even in your dreams. Although the 1,000 words 1,000 gives you not money, but diary mall points, these diary mall points are much more valuable than money. Thinking of this, Shen Fan stopped wasting time, changed into a comfortable sitting position, focused on the diary in front of him again, and began to write again. However, what Shen Fan didn't know was that when he wrote the first word in the diary, countless copies of the diary were dropped on the heroines and supporting actresses in various worlds as if they were free of charge. And on the heads of the more outstanding female passers-by, such as Douluo or the lead dancer of the Soto Spirit Arena who also serves as the front desk. For a time, exclamations sounded from all over the world. Speaking of words, I always have a feeling that the diary system I am getting now is second-hand, not first-hand. Diary system. After all, it's okay if you don't have a gift package for newbies, but the diary system also opens up some passages to other worlds. For example, I am currently in the era of Douluo Continent Part 1. But as long as I am willing to spend 100 diary mall points, I can go to Douluo Continent Part 2, which is the era 10,000 years later. And that's not all. In addition to the world in Douluo Part 2, the diary system also has passages to the world of Throne of the Divine Seal, the passage to the world of Dionysus Yin-Yang Crown, the passage to the world of Son of Light, the passage to the world of ZB Transformation, the passage to the world of Qin Emperor, and so on. Good guy. Almost most of these dozen novel worlds are novels written by Tang. This is simply a stab in Tang's nest. However, this is not bad. Let's not talk about other things. In the world of these novels written by someone like him, there are a lot of beautiful women from all walks of life. This is very much in line with my hobbies. But there is also a pity. When I was in the original world, I liked Qin Yining very much. Now as long as I spend 100 diary mall points, I can go to Perfect World to see her, but I can't go at this stage. The first reason is that a perfect world is too dangerous. The second reason is that Qin Yining is Shihao's girlfriend. I'm afraid that if I provoke Qin Yining, Shihao will come along the network cable and kill me. Not good. Here we go again. I don't know why, but when it comes to Qin Yining, I get easily excited. Depeng wants to spread his wings. For this reason, when I was in the original world, I used up 3 of Qin Yining's dolls. Ahem. No more, no more. Moving on, we're going to get to the paid content. After writing this, Shen Fan took his mind back from the diary again, intending to calm down and think about what he should do next. As a result, after thinking about it, he found that apart from writing diaries to earn more diary mall points, he seemed to be unable to do anything else. There was no other way. After traveling through time for about half an hour, Shen Fan encountered a diary system that didn't give out gift packages to newbies. Shen Fan was also very helpless. Next, Shen Fan thought for a few more minutes and looked at the items in the diary mall. After knowing what he had in mind, he focused on the diary for the third time. I don't know where Douluo's timeline has developed now. This broken diary system only tells me that I am in Douluo world now, and I don't know anything else. However, before my body traveled, it was still about 5 months before my 20th birthday. Now that I have traveled to Douluo continent, I was directly restored to the age of 12 by the diary system. So, according to the conclusion I have drawn from reading hundreds of Douluo fan novels, as long as the diary system does not contradict me, then no accident will happen. Douluo Yi's current main timeline should be Bibi Dong of Wuhuan Palace era. As for the secondary timeline, it should be between the time when the Shrek 7 monsters first came to Shrek Academy and the time when they participated in the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition. And this timeline is a very subtle timeline. Because in this timeline, too many things happened. In fact, the things that happened during this timeline directly affected the direction of the entire Douluo continent or the entire Douluo planet for tens of thousands of years in the future. Unfortunately, I am still an ordinary person without any cultivation. I can only hide in the protective circle given by the diary system and write diaries, hoping to use the diary mall points given by writing diaries to strengthen myself. Speaking of which, I want you again. In other people's time travel, if the system doesn't directly give the cultivation level of a title Douluo, it will at least give someone an absolutely heaven-defying cultivation talent. For example, the last Douluo fanfic I read before traveling through time was Douluo, comparison of double Douluo, Tang San breaks his guards. The male protagonist in it had the same surname as me, but he had a different fate. I got nothing by binding the system, but he bound the system, and when he awakened his martial soul at the age of 6, he awakened an absolutely powerful true dragon martial soul without any surprise, and his innate soul power directly reached level 50, about. Well. No more talking. If I talk too much, I will shed tears. After finally writing more than 1,000 words in the diary, Shen Fan stretched out and wiped the non-existent tears from the corners of his eyes, with a slightly impatient look on his face. Diary system. Hurry up. Exchange me immediately for the unnamed true law which requires 1,000 diary mall points to be redeemed, and the outsider halo which requires 100 diary mall points to be redeemed. Chapter 2 Hu Liena. It turns out that the teacher is also a girl who understands in seconds. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It is true that Shen Fan is not given a big gift package for newbies, powerful cultivation, or heaven-defying cultivation talent. It is true that Shen Fan is depressed about these things, and it is true that he wants to complain, but he will not always be entangled in this. What's more, after vomiting twice just now, the unhappiness impulse in his heart has also burst out. At this moment, Shen Fan just wanted to get the cultivation method quickly and start trying to practice. Exchange successful. Deduct 1,100 diary mall points. The nameless true method and the outsider aura have been distributed to the system space. Please host to check it yourself. As Shen Fan's voice fell, the diary system reacted instantly, and it took less than a second to complete the points deduction and delivery operations. Outsider aura, for those with this aura, as long as you don't take the initiative to disturb the other party, even if you are only a small distance away from the other party will inevitably choose to ignore you. Unnamed true method. I don't know who created it. Its origin is no longer known. It has been carefully modified by a strong person and has now gone one step further. Diary system. I can understand the function of this outsider's halo, but what about this nameless true method? It was introduced above that this true method has been carefully revised by a strong person, and now it has gone one step further. Then can I understand that this is a cultivation method that cuts off the path, that with full expectations, Shen Fan just glanced at the outsider's halo, and then looked at the nameless true method floating in the system space. However, Shen Fan just opened the first page of the nameless true method and read it for a few seconds before he was shocked by the introduction above. If everything goes well, this issue should be something that the host should consider at least a few 100 million years from now. Now the host is on Douluo continent, which is known as the fantasy sewer. What are you afraid of? Are you still worried that your mother will haunt you? Hearing this, the diary system did not deny it. Really? I knew it was cheap but not good. Of the other cultivation methods in the mall, the cheapest one costs 500,000 diary mall points. However, This nameless true method can be exchanged for only 1,000 diary mall points. I'm still a little too naive. Shen Fan couldn't help but rolled his eyes, but he had no intention of continuing to argue. He focused his attention on the nameless true method again and turned to the next page with his mind. At the same time, just when Shen Fan calmed down and began to study the nameless true method, the heroines who had copies of the diaries looked at the copies of the diaries that only they could see spread out in front of them, as well as the diaries. The content written on this copy makes everyone look a little ugly, although, the contents of the copy of the diary are basically some sarcastic remarks and harsh remarks made by the owner of the diary, but just the fact that what the owner of the diary revealed about them and the world they live in comes from novels makes it difficult for them, the heroines and supporting actresses, to accept it, of course. There are exceptions to this, and that is Bibi Dong and Qin Yining who were attacked by the words in the diary. At this moment, although the two of them were equally shocked that they were actually characters in the novel and that the world they lived in was a novel world, they were still so angry by those words that they almost went to heaven. If they didn't know where the owner of the diary was now, and Qin Yining also knew that she and the owner of the diary were not in the same world, the two women would have gone out in person to capture alive this person who dared to use words to blaspheme. They are thieves, but despite this, Bibi Dong, who knew that she and the owner of the diary were now in the same world, still gave orders to Yu Guan and Gui Mei, who were standing tremblingly below, with a cold and pretty face. Yu Guan. Ghost. I've got a mission for you. Go everywhere and look for an ordinary man who is 12 years old and has no cultivation. The other party's behavior should be different from ordinary people. Bibi Dong thought as he spoke, and tried his best to tell all the information that the owner of the diary had revealed. What? His Majesty the Pope. Is this just a little bit of information? Originally, when she saw Bibi Dong speaking, Yu Zhizong breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, she no longer had to face the pressure emanating from Bibi Dong, whose face was getting colder and colder. Result. How? Isn't this information enough? Go quickly. When Bibi Dong saw Yu Guan standing there blankly looking at her, her eyes widened and her face became even colder. Yes. Subordinate, go right away. Being glared at by Bibi Dong's menacing eyes, Yu Guan suddenly trembled all over. He quickly saluted Bibi Dong and pulled the equally confused ghost beside him to leave the papal hall. Teacher. There is new content in the diary. At this time, Hu Liena, who was standing aside, carefully glanced at Bibi Dong on the Pope's throne and warned in a weak voice, speaking of which, this copy of the diary is very strange. For those who have also obtained a copy of the diary, it can be said that there are no taboos. Even if you use the copy of the diary as a brick, you can just smash it in the other person's face. But for those who have not obtained a copy of the diary, the copy of the diary itself is like a taboo that must not be revealed, and not even a word can be revealed. Just like before, she was hit on the head by a copy of the diary on the way to the Pope's Basilica. Yu Guan asked her what happened at that time, but she was about to say that she was dropped in the papal palace. The diary on the ground was hit, however, before she could really speak, the diary that fell to the ground flew to her face and spread out, and she was warned not to reveal the existence of the diary. At that time, as the only disciple of the Pope, Hu Liena was not afraid at all and wanted to try what would happen if she revealed the existence of the diary. The result, of course, is that you almost die if you try. Humph. On the other side, after hearing his apprentice's reminder, Bibi Dong snorted coldly and looked at the copy of the diary. She wanted to see if this thief could spit out ivory. I really didn't expect that. It turns out that the teacher is also a girl who understands things instantly. Seeing her teacher's attention turning to the copy of the diary again, Hu Liena secretly thought in her heart. In the past, Hu Liena always thought that her teacher was a pure iceberg beauty, but the scene that happened before made her see another side of her teacher, and just when Hu Liena was thinking wildly, she suddenly found that the face of the teacher who was reading the diary gradually turned into disbelief. So she quickly shook off the unrestrained thoughts in her heart and looked at her diary. Chapter 3, Complaining about Tang San and Xiaogang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I just used the diary mall points I earned from writing a diary to exchange for a book of cultivation methods and an outsider halo. How to say? Perhaps it can only be said that it is indeed the Douluo continent that most people in the original world call a fantasy sewer. The diary system told me. Since I am not a cultivator yet, I can only read the first chapter of the basic volume of the nameless cultivation method that I redeemed. But even though it was only the first chapter of the basic volume, it still completely covered the Soul Master training system of Douluo continent in seconds. According to the records in the Nameless True Method, the first chapter of the basic volume is divided into 10 realms, which correspond to the first Soul Master realm in the Soul Master training system. But according to the interpretation given by the diary system, although the 10 realms in the first chapter of the basic volume correspond exactly to the realms of the Soul Master's practice system, under the same realm, people who practice the Nameless True Method, basically a person who has practiced the Soul Master's training system, can be killed in one move. Of course. That's not to say that the Soul Master's side has no ability to resist at all. The diary system also uses an analogy. Take the lowest level Soul Warrior as an example, which corresponds to the first realm of the Nameless True Method, the White Mystic realm. As long as the martial spirit awakened by this Soul Warrior combines the martial spirit of the power attack system, the agility attack system, the control system martial spirit, the defense system martial spirit, the healing system martial spirit and the auxiliary system martial spirit, it will form an all-round martial arts system. Soul. Then, add a set of 6 all-powerful soul bones with an age of about 5,000 years and an all-powerful extra soul bone with an age of about 5,000 years. In this way, by adding up many aspects, this soul warrior will be able to fight against the White Mystic realm at the same level. Honestly, when I heard this analogy from the diary system, I was very happy. Because this means that it won't be long before I can cause trouble for this little brat Tang San. As for the bodyguard with the aura of an outsider, as long as I am careful and don't make too much noise, it is impossible for Tang Hao to discover me. Jie. I can't say about other novel worlds. But if you travel to the first part of Douluo continent, as a protagonist, if you don't punish Tang Yazi, there is a 99% chance that you will be scolded. Douluo Yin. Douluo Xiao Wu. Douluo Xiao Wu. Douluo Ning Rongrong, Douluo Zhu Zhuqing, Douluo Yo Erlong, Douluo Yiming still said, Douluo Duguian, I knew this Tang San was definitely not a good guy. Douluo Tanya, what? Let me start from the beginning and think about how many evil things this Tang Zhao San has done. Yes. I remember that after Tang San awakened his martial soul at the age of 6, he was taken to Notting Junior Soul Master Academy by Jack, the village elder of the Holy Soul Village. As a result, the guard of Notting College deliberately made things difficult for old Jack and Tang San, preventing them from entering the college gate. In this situation, if you are a normal person, the most you can do is beat up the guard. Then what did our Tang Yasin do? He. Without saying anything, he directly told the guard in his heart that you already have a way to die. If Yu Xiaogang hadn't arrived in time, the guard would have been stabbed by Tang Beishan with a hidden weapon on the spot. Sure enough, he was worthy of being a sniper in the Tang sect in his previous life, and he didn't care about other people's lives at all. But, wouldn't Tang Zhaosan use his brain to think about it? It was easy for him to stab the guard at Notting College, but what about the old Jack who brought him here to school? Tang San is a soul master, he can kill someone and walk away. But can old Jack, who has lived in Holy Soul Village for generations, run away? At that time, once there is no trace of Tang San, the last unlucky person will not be old Jack who brought him to school. You can see it from here. Tang Yen San is an extremely selfish person who only considers his own interests and dignity, and does not consider others at all. I completely forgot that when Tang San was a child, Tang Hao ignored him. If it weren't for the help of old Jack, he would have starved to death long ago. Douluo Yin, how could it be? How could he treat our children like this? That at this time, in a hidden cave somewhere, a blue-silver grass with golden threads was shaking its body, looking very uneasy, as Tang San's mother, Yin didn't care whether her son was a good guy or a bad guy. She only saw the diary that said her son almost starved to death. This made her feel very distressed and angry. She wished she could teleport to Tang Hao right now and ask him clearly. However, she was just a grass after all, shaking for a long time and unable to move at all. In the end, she could only sigh quietly and return her attention to the diary. I don't know if the guard is still alive now. Actually, in my opinion, the worst person in this matter is Xiaogang. According to my understanding of the first part of Douluo, the reason why this guard came out to embarrass Tang San and old Jack was because he was instructed by Xiaogang. You know, this guard is just an ordinary person. Unless he is crazy, or even if he borrows 100 courages, he would not dare to provoke the Soul Master. After all, even if this Soul Master's martial soul is the recognized waste martial soul blue silver grass, it is still very simple to deal with him as an ordinary person with a full 10th level of innate soul power. What's more, at that time, old Jack also showed the guard the certificate issued by Wuhuan Palace. But the guard was nice. He only took one look at it and said with disdain that the certificate was false. Every year when a new school starts, the guard has to look at dozens or hundreds of Wuhandian certificates. Can the guard not tell whether the Wuhandian certificate handed over by old Jack is real or fake? Under such circumstances, the guard still dared to tell lies with his eyes open. This is no longer a matter of courage, but a matter of living enough. Then, a guard who is not crazy and still wants to live a good life can be made to cause trouble for old Jack and Tang San at the expense of offending Wuhuan Palace. The answer seems to be coming soon. Yes. This guard is just following orders. And the person who issued this order to the guard can also give the guard the confidence to be unafraid of the majesty of Wuhuan Palace. At the same time, he does not care whether it will damage the interests and reputation of Wuhuan Palace. Today, except for Yu Xiao just outside, there can't be a second person. Douluo Bibi Dong. Douluo Yo Erlong. Chapter 4 Angry Bibi Dong and Xiao Wu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Actually, Tang San, who is most suitable as a test subject for Yu Xiaojiang's apprentice to verify his theoretical knowledge, was originally a gift secretly given to Yu Xiaojiang by Bibi Dong. After all, a peerless genius with innate 10th level soul power appeared in the Holy Soul Village. Even if this peerless genius awakened only a useless martial soul, blue silver grass, Su Yuntao, who was jokingly called the blind Douluo by netizens in the original world, it will definitely be reported to the Wuhuan Palace headquarters. Even if Su Yuntao neglects his duty and does not choose to report it, his boss, the master of the Nuoding branch, will never dare not to report it. Otherwise, if he is found out in the future, everyone in the Nuoding branch may not be able to escape punishment. So, when Tang San's information has been reported to the Wuhuan Palace headquarters, if Bibi Dong, the Pope, didn't secretly help suppress the news, it would be Yu Xiaojiang's turn to collect it. Tang San was a disciple. But I have to say, if you want to use Tang San, then do it. Tang San is not a good person anyway, but why bother an innocent guard? Do you really feel that you are superior and don't care about the life of an ordinary person at all? Although, in the original work, it is forcefully explained later that this doorman has always relied on his identity as a doorman, and often took advantage of the parents of working study students. It's just that this statement is purely to clear Yu Xiaojiang's suspicion of being the mastermind behind the scenes. Anyone with any brains will not believe it. No matter how poor their families are, those working study students will become true soul masters sooner or later. Let me ask you, how courageous is this guard, that he would offend dozens or hundreds of future soul masters for a little money? Well, Bibi Dong. It's in vain that you were born as a commoner, but when you became the Pope, you completely forgot about your origins, and you actually helped Yu Xiaojiang bully ordinary people. Douluo Bibi Dong, I don't have it, don't talk nonsense. Bibi Dong admitted that the first time she saw Tang San's message, she had already thought about Tang San's whereabouts, but with all her conscience, she just wanted to give Tang San to Yu Xiaojiang, the Bai Yueguang in her heart, as her apprentice. As for how Yu Xiaogang would choose to conquer Tang San, she really didn't know at all. At this moment, Bibi Dong was sitting in the Pope's palace with a dark face. She did not blame Yu Xiaogang, but dumped all her dissatisfaction on the owner of the diary. At the same time, the former Lamba Academy is now located at Shrek Academy. Hateful. I didn't expect that the master would be such a person, and he would dare to join forces with that woman Bibi Dong to plot against brother. No. I have to tell my brother about this. Otherwise, I won't even know that I was sold by Yu Xiaogang in the future. In the dormitory, Xiao Wu put on her shoes and was about to go out to find Tang San. And many more. On the side, Zhu Zhuqing quickly stopped the impulsive Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu, you should also know about the relationship between Tang San and the master. Now that you are so clueless, you run over and tell Tang San that the master is plotting against him. Do you think Tang San will believe it? Zhu Zhuqing said calmly. It's not in the diary. Hearing this, Xiao Wu was about to say something about the diary, but suddenly thought that Tang San didn't have a diary, and couldn't help but frown slightly, just as Zhu Zhuqing said. With the respect and protection Tang San showed for Yu Xiaogang as a teacher, anyone could see that in Tang San's heart, Yu Xiaogang's status was definitely very high. If it were someone else, Xiao Wu would be confident that Tang San would be on her side with just one sentence, but if it were Yu Xiaogang, Xiao Wu thought about it, and finally could only sigh, and was pulled by Zhu Zhuqing. Then he sat back on the couch. Xiao Wu, don't worry too much. No matter what the master's purpose is in recruiting third brother, his usual concern for third brother is obvious to all. Also, although this copy of the diary looks very mysterious and extraordinary, its origin is unknown after all. What's more, the owner of this diary also said before that he just wanted to cause trouble for Tang San and could not keep it intact. This information was deliberately written by the owner of the diary in order to make us doubt our own people and make it convenient. The other party will watch the show and cause trouble at the same time. Seeing Xiao Wu sitting down, he still frowned and said nothing. Zhu Zhuqing, who was grateful for Tang San's gift of fairy grass, knew Xiao Wu's status with Tang San, so he continued to comfort him. Next to, Ning Rongrong just watched Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu performing non-stop, without saying a word. Perhaps soul masters like Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing of the power attack system, agility attack system, or other combat systems are more interested in eating and watching the show, and will not pay special attention to the cultivation method mentioned by the owner of the diary. But as for Ning Rongrong and the 9 treasure glazed sect, who have no ability to protect themselves at all, if the so-called cultivation method is really as powerful as what is written in the diary, then for them, the 9 treasure glazed sect, it is definitely a priceless treasure that must be obtained. It seems that in the days to come, I will have to carefully observe the suspicious people around me. I believe that since the owner of this diary has said that he wants to trouble Tang San, then the other party will definitely come to Shrek Academy. Ning Rongrong murmured secretly after looking away at Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing. As the young sect leader of the 9 treasures glazed sect, she is just a bit of a witch in character. In terms of knowledge and other aspects, she is naturally not comparable to Xiao Wu, a 100,000-year-old mango rabbit, and Zhu Zhuqing, the daughter of a duke who has been ostracized by her family, unfortunately, limited by the shortcomings of the entire Douluo continent martial soul and martial soul cultivation system. Ning Rongrong, who was eager to let his soul master with the Qibao glazed pagoda martial soul have combat effectiveness, was completely attracted by the method of cultivation, or inadvertently, the outsider halo was ignored, something that had never appeared on Douluo continent. It's not right. Aren't I talking about Tang San, this little loser? Why did he go off topic and go to Yu Xiaogang and Bibi Dong? Forget it, let's go off topic. It's off topic anyway, so let's just go further. Since we have already mentioned that Tang San was plotted by Bibi Dong and Yu Xiaogang, we must mention the first heroine of the first Douluo continent, the 100,000-year-old rabbit Xiao Wu. By the way, this little rabbit is also a complete tragedy. From the moment she came to Notting College to attend school, every step thereafter was planned by Tang Hao. First, under Tang Hao's threat, Notting College completely ignored the precautions that should be taken between men and women and directly arranged Xiao Wu, a girl, to live in the boys' dormitory for 6 years. This is simply a big joke. This book has been signed, please feel free to collect it and read it. Also, another book will definitely be completed. Chapter 5 Xiao Wu's Identity Exposed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 6 years. You said that when we were 6 years old, everyone was still young, so I wouldn't say anything if we lived together. But damn you, Xiao Wu and Tang San are both 12 years old and still living together. No matter what the reason is, it's all nonsense. I have decided that after a while, when I go to Douluo Continent 2, I will go to Shrek Academy to sleep with Tang Hao's granddaughter. Anyway, Tang Hao's granddaughter happened to be 12 years old when she first entered Shrek. I am also 12 years old now. I think Tang Hao will not think there is anything wrong with my decision. After all, I learned what Tang Hao did. If Tang Hao thinks I did something wrong, then this matter will never end. Girls. Ro Qingxuang, Xiao Wu's mom, how dare you plot against my daughter like this, Douluo Xiao Wu. If the above is not nothing, then what Tang Hao did next was even more deceptive. You know, Xiao Wu's situation is completely different from Tang San's. The martial spirit on Tang San's face is the wasted spirit blue silver grass. Even if he has full 10th level innate soul power, if he meets some people who don't understand anything, he may really think that Tang San has no future. But Xiao Wu's martial spirit is the soft bone rabbit. Although it is not a powerful martial spirit, it is at least an above-average quality martial spirit. As long as you train well, you will definitely become a titled Douluo in the future. Even if you are willing to practice hard, you will become a super Douluo. The results of it. Or because of Tang Hao's threat, everyone from top to bottom at Notting College, from the principal to the teachers, completely ignored Xiao Wu, a peerless genius with innate soul power. During the 6 years in the college, not only did they not give Xiao Wu anything with a little cultivation resources, Xiao Wu also allows Xiao Wu to work every day in exchange for money. Fortunately, there is a son of the city lord of Notting City in Notting College who helps Xiao Wu finish all the work for the work-study students. Otherwise, I estimate that when Xiao Wu graduates 6 years later, she will not even have the 29th level soul power. May not be achieved. However, what if Xiao Wu reaches level 29 soul power at the age of 12? Her talent for cultivation was destroyed to the greatest extent by Tang Hao and the Notting Academy's joint deception methods. It can be said that if Xiao Wu had not been tricked by Tang Hao and Notting Academy, with Xiao Wu's cultivation talent, she would definitely have received the full training of that academy when she went to practice in any other academy. After graduating in 3 years, her soul power level will definitely be much higher than level 29. In the original work, when Tang San graduated from Notting College, his soul power level reached level 29. That is because Tang San's cultivation talent could only reach level 29 at most. When Xiao Wu graduated from Notting College, her soul power level reached level 29. That was because Tang Hao only allowed Xiao Wu to be at the same level as Tang San at most. After all, a too dazzling Xiao Wu would cover up the genius in Tang San. The most important thing is that a Xiao Wu who is too dazzling will definitely be noticed by other superpowers. At that time, it is absolutely impossible for Haotian Douluo, who is in a severely injured state, to save Xiao Wu, a 100,000-year-old soul beast that has just transformed. Boom. As soon as the 5 words 100,000-year soul beast appeared on the copy of the diary, it was like a bolt from the blue. The heroines and supporting girls in the entire Douluo world widened their beautiful eyes for an instant, and their breathing quickly became rapid. They had felt before that there was always something strange when the owner of the diary wrote about Xiao Wu, and now they finally knew the reason. Douluo Shrek Academy, in the dormitory of Xiao Wu and the 3 girls. This. Zhu Zhuqin glanced at the copy of the diary in his hand, then at Xiao Wu who was obviously panicked, and fell silent. I really didn't expect that the title of the 100,000-year-old rabbit was originally mentioned by the owner of the diary. It actually has a source. However, this title really suits you, Xiao Wu. Unlike Zhu Zhuqing, Ning Rongrong didn't think too much and instead started joking with Xiao Wu, who was already on guard. Rongrong feeling that there was no trace of greed or hostility in Ning Rongrong, Xiao Wu was stunned, her eyes full of surprise. Hee. How? Are you wondering why I don't have any ill intentions towards you? Seeing Xiao Wu's doubts, Ning Rongrong first glanced at Zhu Zhuqing, whose expression was no longer cold, and then looked at Xiao Wu and said with a smile. In response, Xiao Wu said nothing and just nodded. To be honest, if it were the time when I first came to Shrek Academy, I would definitely send your news to the sect secretly. I can't help it. Who made the relationship between you and me so bad at that time? It's just that after such a long period of contact, the relationship between our three sisters has become so good. I really don't want my family to take action against you. Ning Rongrong is actually very kind. Otherwise, just because Ning Rongrong had been so wronged when she first came to Shrek Academy, all the teachers and students of Shrek would have been wiped out, with Sword Douluo and Gu Douluo's love for Ning Rongrong. As long as Ning Rongrong tells Jingu Douluo about the grievances he suffered, even if Ning Rongrong wants to cook everyone in Shrek into various dishes if I give it to go, I'm afraid even Jian Gu and the two Douluo won't refuse. Rongrong. Thank you. What Ning Rongrong said moved Xiao Wu deeply. Ugh. Xiao Wu. Rongrong and I will not take action against you, nor will we reveal your information. But you're still in danger right now. I'm sure that in the entire Douluo continent, we are definitely not the only ones who have copies of the diary. At this time, Zhu Zhuqing, who was having a battle between heaven and man in his heart, sighed, made a decision, and warned. She didn't tell Xiao Wu that Tang Hao might be the most dangerous person. For one thing, she had no evidence. Secondly, Xiao Wu may not believe it. Third, she didn't dare. Dong dong dong. Just when Xiao Wu looked at Zhu Zhuqing gratefully and was about to say something, she heard a sudden knock on the door. Who? Zhu Zhuqing asked. At the same time, the three women in the room looked at each other and made defensive postures vigilantly. It's me. Lu Erlong's voice came from outside the door. Dean Erlong. Ning Rongrong replied, and the three women looked at each other in confusion. They were not sure whether it was a coincidence that Lu Erlong came here now, or whether he also had a copy of the diary like them, and he rushed over immediately because he saw that Xiao Wu was 100,000-year soul beast. It's me. Open the door quickly. Lu Erlong's voice was a little soft, as if he was afraid of being heard. Open the door. Dean Erlong didn't break in directly. It was either a coincidence or he had no ill intentions towards me. Xiao Wu hesitated for a few seconds before speaking. Chapter 6 Diary Copy Rules. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Wu, hurry up. The door opened, and Lu Erlong rushed into the room while talking anxiously. However, the next moment, she saw Xiao Wu and the three girls each had a copy of the diary floating in front of them, and she immediately finished the rest of her words. It went into the stomach. Dean Erlong, you indeed have a copy of the diary. Next, the four girls stared at each other for a long time before Xiao Wu took the initiative to speak with a complicated expression. Xiao Wu, are you really a transformed 100,000-year-old soul beast? Lu Erlong did not answer, but asked instead. She originally planned to take Xiao Wu away from Shrek Academy first, and then explain and ask some questions to Xiao Wu when she got to a safe place. Now that she saw that Xiao Wu and the others also had copies of the diary, it was naturally unnecessary. What more explanation? Yes. My true body is a 100,000-year-old soft-bone rabbit. Xiao Wu nodded. She didn't see a greedy look in Lu Erlong's eyes, so she naturally classified Lu Erlong as a good person who would not hurt her, just like Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. It turned out to be true. After receiving Xiao Wu's confirmation, Lu Erlong murmured to himself and immediately looked at Xiao Wu angrily. Xiao Wu. What's going on? As a transformed soul beast, it doesn't matter if you don't find a safe place to hide, yet you dare to come to a super big city like Tiando City where there are many strong soul warriors. Have you never thought about the consequences of being discovered by those strong contra warriors, that the more Lu Erlong talked, the more annoyed he became. From the first time she saw Xiao Wu, she liked Xiao Wu's character and the little girl she imagined very much. She didn't want to see anything happen to Xiao Wu. We transformed soul beasts must be with humans in order to continue to grow. Hearing the full concern in Lu Erlong's words, Xiao Wu felt warm in her heart. Regardless of Lu Erlong's upturned eyebrows and slightly scolding tone, she gently hugged Lu Erlong. One of Erlong's arms explained. Humph. Do you have to be with humans to continue growing? Then it's okay for you to hide in small towns where there are only great soul masters and soul masters. I think you are willing to risk your life just because of your mistress. Lu Erlong's words made Xiao Wu turn red and lower her head. But the next second, Xiao Wu seemed to have thought of something, and her face suddenly turned pale. Never mind. Your identity has been exposed now. Follow me out of here first. Seeing Xiao Wu's face turn from red to white, Lu Erlong was stunned for a moment, as if he had thought of something, and quickly changed the topic. Xiao Wu hesitated, she was very confused now. Xiao Wu, you have to understand. Your situation is very dangerous now. This is not the time to be willful. I haven't thought too much about it before, but after seeing that you, Rongrong, and Zhu Qing all have copies of the diary, I'm sure that woman also has a copy of the diary. It's even possible that she has sent people here to arrest you now. Maybe he was angry at Xiao Wu's hesitation, or maybe he was disgusted by Bibi Dong's love rival, but Lu Erlong had a rare moment of clarity. That woman, Xiao Wu looked confused and had no idea who the woman Lu Erlong was talking about was. The Pope of Wuhuan Palace. Lu Erlong took a deep breath, still unwilling to say the three words Bibi Dong that made her extremely disgusted. Is her. Hearing this, Xiao Wu's eyes suddenly flashed with deep hatred. However, before Xiao Wu could continue to say anything, the copy of the diary flashed with light, and immediately the sound of the diary system rang in the ears of all the heroines, and supporting girls. Since the host has successfully entered the ranks of practitioners, the diary copy function is officially activated. The following are the rules for journal copies. First point, the heroines who have watched all the diary contents of the day will automatically receive 1% of the number of words in the diary for that day and the copy diary mall points based on the number of words in the diary that day. The function of points in the Dungeon Diary Mall is that they can be exchanged for any items in the world where you are in the Dungeon Diary Mall. Second point, if the host starts the live broadcast, the heroines and supporting girls who watch the entire live broadcast will have the opportunity to win grand prizes or a certain number of Dungeon Diary Mall points. Among them, points from the Dungeon Diary Mall will definitely be given. The only difference lies in the number obtained. The items given in the grand prize are various treasures in the world where one is located. The third point is that you cannot tell anyone else about the existence of a copy of the diary except the owner of the copy of the diary. This other person also includes the diary host. The fourth point is that all heroines and supporting characters who have copies of the diary must not harm each other with malicious intent. Violators will be returned to the mastermind 100 million times as much as the damage caused. Special reminder, Xiao Wu is one of the owners of a copy of the diary. Please pay attention to all the heroines and supporting characters in Douluo world. The rules for copying the diary have been introduced. After saying that, the diary system went silent regardless of how much of a sensation this information caused in the hearts of the heroines and supporting actresses. Hateful. At this time, Bibi Dong, who had already left Wuhuan City in a carriage, smashed the tea table in front of her with one palm, and told Hu Liena, who was driving the carriage, to return to Wuhuan City with a look of hatred on her face. In other parts of the Douluo First World, they were originally thinking of ways to avoid exposing the existence of the copy of the diary, and at the same time reveal Xiao Wu's information to the family's heroines, and supporting characters. With a scared look on his face, he patted his little white rabbit and gave up on the idea of killing someone, at the same time, within the protective circle of the diary system. So, Since I used the diary mall points to directly upgrade myself from an ordinary person to the first level of the White Mysterious Realm, my diary writing now has changed from the previous 1,000 words and 1,000 diary mall points to the current 1,000 words and 10,000 diary mall points. Shen Fan asked in surprise. Just like the diary copy, the diary system also upgraded to a level the moment Shen Fan officially became a cultivator. Yes. The diary system said. Then what if I advance to the next great realm, which is the first level of Lanxian realm? Does it just turn into 1,000 words and 100,000 words, that when speaking, Shen Fan's eyes were bright? No. White Xian realm, blue Xian realm, orange Xian realm, crimson Xian realm, qing Xian realm, silver Xian realm, gold Xian realm, Tian Xian realm, divine Xian realm, emperor Xian realm, these 10 major realms, from low to low. Every time you advance to a higher realm, you can get 10,000 more points for every 1,000 words. For example, those who rank second to last in the Lanxian realm can get 20,000 points per 1,000 words. For another example, those who are ranked highest in the Emperor Profound realm can get 1,000 words and 100,000 points. Chapter 7 Shocked Women. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The diary system's words immediately chilled the excited Shen Fan. Never mind. Let's talk about this newly launched live broadcast function. Why do you need 10,000 diary mall points every time you start a live broadcast? The key is, what can I get after the live broadcast is over? Shen Fan said he didn't understand. The more exciting the content of the live broadcast, the better the reward you will get when the live broadcast is over. Rewards include but are not limited to Qin Yining and Bibi Dong puppets. The diary system made a rare joke. I've already traveled through time, what kind of puppet do I need? I want real people. Shen Fan couldn't help but complain aloud, and then he was too lazy to continue talking to the diary system and started writing a diary again. Just now I wrote that Tang Hao was unable to protect Xiao Wu, a 100,000-year-old soul beast, from those super powerful forces. My diary mall points were just enough to buy a first-grade pill that increases cultivation. Out of curiosity, I decided I bought one. However, luckily I bought one, and after taking it to refine it, I reached the first level of the White Mystic Realm in no time. Of course, reaching the first level of Baixian Realm is not the most important thing. What really surprises me is that after reaching Baixian Realm, the diary mall points I can get from writing diaries have changed from 1,000 words per 1,000 words to 10,000 words per 1,000 words. Haha. With the same number of words, the benefits that can be obtained now are 10 times that of the original. Little Yakuza. Wait, then. Your good days are coming to an end. Jia. I still remember that in the original work of Douluo, because you are the number one male protagonist, your rise can be said to be smooth, and you basically did not encounter any setbacks, so you hid your true character very well. You have been hypocritical for decades, making everyone who gathers around you regard you as a good person. But how do those people gathered around you know that you, Tang San, are simply a cold-blooded and ruthless chicken? Douluo Tangya. Douluo Xiao Wu. Douluo Yin. Actually, that's right. Tang San has memories of his previous life, and he was a slayer of the Tang sect in his previous life. Isn't it a joke to expect a slayer to be affectionate and righteous? Douluo Zhu Qing. Douluo Ning Rong. Douluo Yin, what? How come? If Xiao San still has the memory of his previous life, then he is still my and Hao's son. Although the owner of the diary had already mentioned before that Tang San was a sniper of the Tang clan in his previous life, that time, the owner of the diary only mentioned it in passing, and it was unclear. Unlike this time, it was clear and clear. He revealed that his son Tang San still had memories of his previous life. This made Yin unable to turn around for a while. This also reminds me of a point raised by netizens from the original world. In Douluo 1, all the forces that followed Tang San will be destroyed in Douluo 2's era 10,000 years later. As for those forces that did not follow Tang San in Douluo 1, most of them are still alive and well after 10,000 years. I have to say that Tang San, who is a sea god and half Azura god, is really awesome at what he does. As soon as the words as a sea god and half Azura god came out, the faces of all the girls in the entire Douluo world suddenly changed. Pope's Palace. I really didn't expect that the apprentice I found for Xiaogang would be so promising. Poseidon, half Shura god. Can one person inherit two divine positions? Could it be said that a soul master with twin martial souls can inherit two divine positions at the same time? Thinking of this, Bibi Dong's eyes lit up. She is also the owner of twin martial spirits. There is no reason that Tang San can inherit two divine positions, but she cannot. Poseidon Island. Is this person named Tang San the descendant of Lord Poseidon? He is Tang Hao's son, which means he is Tang Chen's great-grandson. Having memories of past lives. In the high priest's chamber, Bo Sai murmured alone, his face flickering in and out. Yuexian. Great. Second brother's son will become a god in the future. Does that mean that our Haotian sect has a chance to take revenge on Wuhuan Palace? The only trouble is that Tang San has memories of his past life. Will it affect the relationship between him and his second brother? Tang Yuehua walked around in her room, feeling happy and worried at the same time. When it comes to Tang San inheriting half of the Shura god's throne, I can't help but want to complain again. As mentioned earlier, Xiao Wu's 6 years at Notting College were all planned by Tang Hao. And these are not tragedies for Xiao Wu. After all, Tang Hao's idea is to let Xiao Wu and Tang San grow up together, and then let Xiao Wu fall in love with Tang San. In this way, when Tang San's soul power level is high enough, he will repeat his old trick and reveal Xiao Wu's true identity. Next, as long as there are no accidents in the plan, Xiao Wu, who is desperate, will definitely choose to sacrifice to Tang San. In this regard, Tang Hao was quite kind. He did not directly kill Xiao Wu when he saw Xiao Wu, but let Xiao Wu enjoy some love. Douluo Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu was dumbfounded. How can this be called kindness? Douluo yi zhu zhu qing. Why is the Haotian Douluo written by the owner of this diary completely different from the Haotian Douluo rumored by the outside world? Zhu Zhuqing was confused. Douluo yi ning rongrong. Those deeds of Tang Hao that are rumored by the outside world are just rumors. Anyway, in the records of our 9 treasure glazed tile sect, the real Tang Hao can only be described in a few words. As the young sect leader of the 9 treasure glazed sect, Ning Rongrong naturally knew many secrets on the Douluo continent. In fact, this information is also available in the Xinglua Dai family and the Xinglua Zhu family. However, Zhu Zhuqing's position in the Zhu family is rather embarrassing. He is not qualified at all and has no time to read those secret records. Douluo Yo Erlong. So, we were deceived. Hateful. Thankfully I used to admire him a little. Lu Erlong's eyes were filled with anger. If Tang San wasn't Yu Xiaojiang's disciple, Lu Erlong would definitely catch him now and give him a good beating without saying a word. Douluo Yi. Why do I feel a little familiar when I listen to this routine? However, I don't believe Hao would do such a thing. After all, his wife is also 100,000-year soul beast. Douluo Yiruqing Shuang, Wu Wu. My poor daughter. Douluo Xiao Wu, this. He. Fortunately, no one else can see my diary. Otherwise, if you say Tang Hao is kind when you see me, you will probably get a lot of looks of contempt. Just a little regretful. What I said are all facts. Chapter 8 Bibi Dong is a college scumbag. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Compared with what Tang San did to Xiao Wu in the future, I dare to stand in front of everyone in the world and say that when it comes to how to deal with Xiao Wu's soul ring and soul bone, as well as Xiao Wu as a person, Tang Hao really is a kind person. After all, Tang Hao simply wanted Xiao Wu to sacrifice, but Tang San wanted to make Xiao Wu's life worse than death. Think about the original work. After Xiao Wu graduated from Notting Academy, she followed Tang San to study at Shrek Academy in Soto City. At that time, Xiao Wu had not fallen in love with Tang San, but regarded Tang San as his older brother. When Shrek and his party went to the Star Do Forest to hunt for the third soul ring for Oscar a few days later, Xiao Wu saw Tang San. San did not hesitate to chase after her who was taken away by the Titan giant ape, completely ignoring his own danger to save her. Only at that moment did he truly fall in love with Tang San. This is also the beginning of Xiao Wu's true tragedy. To be honest, during the time when Tang San was chasing the Titan giant ape, I didn't see how worried Tang San was about Xiao Wu's safety. Not only did he have time to make a bet with Mengyiran, the granddaughter of the unparalleled dragon and snake couple, there is even time to absorb the soul ring of the man-faced demon spider. What's more, in the end, with Oscar's help, he got Mengyiran's mouth. Is it surprising? Accident is right. This is the hypocrisy of Tang San. He keeps saying that he only loves Xiao Wu. The results of it? Tang San did not avoid Mengyiran's words. Tang San did not avoid Ning Rongrong's words. Tang San still didn't avoid Blazing Academy Hu Wu's words. Where is the face? Let me ask, Tang San, where is your face? Is this what you said, that you only love Xiao Wu? With the speed at which Tang San brought ghost shadows from the Tang sect in his previous life, if you want to avoid Mengyiran, Ning Rongrong and Hu Wu, you can definitely do it easily. You haven't escaped, which only means that you don't want to hide at all. Speaking of this, another point of complaint from netizens of the original world appeared. It is said that ghost shadows can allow Tang San to avoid any sneak attack, but he cannot avoid the mouth of a beautiful woman. Douluo Yiming still said. Douluo Yawowu said, Hundan. How could I possibly go to Tang San? I don't even know who he is. Douluo E Ning Rongrong. Actually. I am really worried about Xiao Wu's IQ. Of course, it could also be that love is in your head. After she gathered her soul rings, she said goodbye to the Titan ape and returned to Shrek's team. At this time, she saw with her own eyes that Tang San absorbed the spirit ring of the man-faced demon spider. Don't Xiao Wu think about it. If Tang San was really worried about her safety, how could he have that time to absorb the spirit ring there? If the Titan ape is really the enemy, if he waits until Tang San has absorbed the spirit ring before trying to rescue Xiao Wu may have turned into a daddy and been pulled out. Douluo Xiao Wu. Douluo Xiao Wu. Douluo Yiru Qingshuang. Unfortunately, at this point in the story, Tang San inevitably made another false excuse. He actually said that only by absorbing the soul ring of the man-faced demon spider and restoring all his soul power could he have the strength to save Xiao Wu. Please. Even after absorbing the soul ring, you are only a soul master who has just passed level 30. Where did you get the confidence to challenge the Titan ape that is about 100,000 years old? Facing the Titan giant ape, the king of the forest, is there any difference whether you are a great soul master or a soul master? Next, Shrek and his team returned to the academy with lingering fears, and under Yu Xiaojiang's training plan, they began training that seemed to be a waste of time, but in fact had little effect. Douluo E Shrek 3 Beauties. Yes, that's right. Master Jade Xiaoganjiu who was blown up to the sky, his training method is to run with stones on his back. I don't know what Bibi Dong and Lu Erlong like about Yu Xiaojiang. Do you like him not to take a bath, or do you like him to just run away when something happens? I remember it was said in the original work that Bibi Dong and Lu Erlong both fell in love with Yu Xiaojiang because of his intelligence. In this regard, I just want to say, are you kidding me? If a guy who wants nothing but is the first to run away is considered wise, then Douluo Continent might as well change his name to Shajiao Continent. From this, I also came to a conclusion. Leave aside Lu Erlong, Pope Bibi Dong should be a super invincible university scumbag. Douluo Yo Erlong, are you going to leave me alone? Are you looking down on me? Douluo E Bibi Dong, Bibi Dong sneered and said nothing, I'm not talking nonsense. In fact, all the martial arts knowledge that Yu Xiaojiang knows was found in the libraries of the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family and the Spirit Hall. They are all the most common martial arts knowledge. However, Bibi Dong actually looked at Yu Xiaojiang in a different light because of these common martial arts knowledge that anyone who has attended a Soul Master Academy would know. It can be seen that Bibi Dong is definitely a college scumbag who knows nothing about martial arts. After all, if Yu Xiaogang talks about the martial arts knowledge, if a student with acceptable academic performance in the cultural class of the Soul Master Academy hears it, he will only get a look of disdain. Speaking of this, I want to clarify something for Bibi Dong. Many people in the original world said that Bibi Dong showed Yu Xiaogang the secret book of Wu Huan Palace. Concerning this point, I feel that Bibi Dong has been unfairly accused. It is true that Bibi Dong helped Yu Xiaogang publish a book, and it is also true that he helped Yu Xiaogang become famous, but when it comes to showing Yu Xiaogang the confidential books of Wu Huan Palace, Bibi Dong has never done this. Let's take a look at the 10 core competitiveness of martial arts that Yu Xiaogang relied on to become famous and was most proud of in his life. Article 1. The size of the innate soul power is directly proportional to the quality of the martial soul. Article 2. There are no useless martial arts spirits in the world, only useless soul masters. I don't know what Yu Xiaogang is thinking. This second point is clearly scolding himself. It's true, Bibi Dong, you helped Yu Xiaogang publish a book, but you didn't even take a look at the content of the book. Why didn't you remind Yu Xiaogang about the second issue? Could it be that Bibi Dong actually agrees in her heart that Yu Xiaogang is a waste? Looking at the 2 complaints about herself that appeared on the copy of the diary, Bibi Dong's expression froze. Article 3. Martial spirits are divided into 2 categories, namely beast martial spirits and weapon martial spirits. Here we go again, here we go again. Why does Yu Xiaogang always like to exclude himself when writing theories? Chapter 9. The first reward distribution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I just want to ask, is his Luo Sanpao a weapon soul or a beast soul? Let's say it's a beast spirit, Luo Sanpao can't possess it. Let's call it a weapon soul. A martial soul that is neither a pig nor a dog. No matter how you look at it, it has nothing to do with a weapon soul. It's really nothing. Next is the 4th article, the weapon spirit is more auxiliary than the beast spirit. Article 5, every soul master has a development direction. Article 6, soul beasts are divided into 5 levels, 10-year soul beasts, 100-year soul beasts, 1,000-year soul beasts, 10,000-year soul beasts, and 100,000-year soul beasts, which correspond to white, yellow, purple, black, and red respectively. 5 colored soul rings. A clown is a clown. He dares to write a book and talk nonsense without checking the facts. On top of the 100,000-year soul beasts, there are also ferocious beasts that must undergo a catastrophe every 100,000 years. On top of the ferocious beasts, there are million-year soul beasts and corresponding golden soul rings. Another piece of news that horrified the girls of Douluo world, Article 7, soul rings need to be obtained by hunting soul beasts. The older the soul beast, the better the effect of the soul ring produced. Listen. Isn't this something everyone in Douluo continent knows? Article 8, only those who personally kill the target spirit beast can absorb the spirit ring of this spirit beast. What can I say? This is also something everyone in Douluo continent knows. Article 9, martial soul mimicry, plant-based soul masters can absorb animal soul rings. Article 10, the soul ring bottleneck cannot prevent the soul master from improving his soul power. It will naturally show up after he obtains the soul ring. The above are Yu Xiaogang's 10 core competitiveness of martial arts, which can also be called the core theory of martial arts. I won't say whether these theories are correct or not. I only want to say something fair for Bibi Dong. If Yu Xiaogang has really read the real secret books of Wu Huan Palace, he will never be able to write such an outrageous theory. To put it bluntly, if the knowledge recorded in Wu Huan Palace's secret books is all this stuff, then as I said before, it might as well be renamed Shidaio Continent. Okay, let's stop writing here for now. I'll continue writing when I run out of diary mall points. What if I can use these points to directly break through to the Lanxian realm? After withdrawing his mind from being immersed in the diary, Shen Fan stood up and stretched his muscles. After exchanging some food in the diary mall and eating it, he began the trilogy of taking pills, meditating, and refining, at the same time, the heroines and supporting characters in various worlds waited for a long time and saw that the copy of the diary was not being updated. They also put down the copy of the diary that they had been looking at all afternoon and began to work on their own. Things, however, the world of Douluo where the owner of the diary is located has been unknowingly changed due to the appearance of the copy of the diary and the owner of the diary. Soon, night falls and the stars are shining. Douluo Shrek Academy. Xiao Wu. What happened to you today? Tang San caught up with Xiao Wu, who was about to go back to his dormitory, and asked with a frown. Nothing. Hearing this, Xiao Wu's eyes dodged a little. She liked Tang San, but knowing that the beginning of this story was a conspiracy and the ending was more likely to be a tragedy that she couldn't accept, it was impossible for her to not react at all and still cling to Tang San as before. It's not that Xiao Wu wants to leave Tang San. How can he let go of a relationship that has lasted for several years? But now Xiao Wu really doesn't know how to get along with Tang San in the future. The only thing she can think of is to escape. Is it really okay? If something happens, you must tell me. Rest assured. No matter what happens, brother will always stand in front of you and protect you. After knowing each other for so long, how could Tang San not be able to tell whether Xiao Wu was okay or not? It's really okay. All right. Elder brother. I still have an appointment with Rongrong and the others, so I'll leave first. After saying that, Xiao Wu didn't wait for Tang San to reply and ran towards her dormitory without looking back. On the same spot, Tang San stared at Xiao Wu's leaving figure, frowning, and after a while, he left with a gloomy face. Ding! 0 o'clock has arrived. Now we will start to distribute Dungeon Diary Mall points to all the heroines and supporting girls in each world who meet the conditions. All heroines and supporting girls who have points in the Dungeon Diary Mall will open the Dungeon Diary Mall simultaneously. As the Dungeon Diary Mall opened, all the girls were full of curiosity and swarmily opened the Dungeon Diary Mall that had been lit up by the diary system. Then, the girls saw a scene they would never forget. For example, several girls in Dopa discovered that the Earth-level exercises and Earth-level fighting skills that are usually extremely rare are like Chinese cabbage in the Dungeon Diary Mall, with trillions of varieties at least. As for the number of heaven-level techniques and heaven-level fighting skills, they are also too numerous to count. Gu Suner even saw the existence of countless martial arts and fighting skills that surpassed the heaven-level skills and heaven-level fighting skills. This made her, who was well-informed, inadvertently become dumbfounded. Appearance, and when Gu Suner finally woke up and looked at the strange fire area, pill area and other areas, he suddenly smiled bitterly. For the first time, he felt like a frog in the well. Of course, it is not only Gu Suner who is fighting to break the world who has such an idea at this time. The girls from other worlds naturally have similar thoughts to Gu Suner when they see the treasures of their own world in the Copy Diary Mall. Douluo is in the room where the 4 girls of Xiao Wu from Shrek Academy are. It seems that it is true that the replica Diary Mall can be exchanged for treasures. Lu Erlong combined the 2 soul rings that could grow for 10 years that he had just redeemed from the Dungeon Diary Mall into 1 soul ring that could grow for 20 years, his tone full of surprise. Xiao Wu. You are worthless now. On the side, Ning Rongrong saw 2 soul rings appear out of thin air, and saw 2 10-year growth soul rings merge into 1 20-year growth soul ring. Ning Rongrong immediately started to tease Xiao Wu excitedly. Isn't that just right? This way I don't have to worry about being remembered by others all the time. For a transformed soul beast like Xiao Wu, he wished he could become worthless, although the diary system said that people who have copies of the diary cannot hurt each other, but who knows what the consequences will be if you encounter someone who is crazy and insists on trying the knife. When the time comes, who will she find to reason with? You can't go looking for a diary system. It's incredible. Zhu Zhuqing ignored the laughter of Ning Rongrong and Xiao Wu, and stared at the 20-year growing soul ring in Lu Erlong's hand without blinking, before sighing for a long time. Chapter 10 Shen Fan's Unique Perspective. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dean Erlong. Are you planning to replace the ordinary soul ring on your body later, or are you going to replace it now? At this time, Ning Rongrong asked. Let's wait until later. The current growable spirit ring is only 20 years old, which is much lower than the age of my first spirit ring. Although the growable soul ring can safely replace the ordinary soul ring, the age of the soul ring is reduced, and my soul power will also be reduced accordingly. Also, my original first soul ring was a 100-year-old soul ring. If I changed it to this 20-year-old soul ring now, I would not be able to explain it to others when the color of the soul ring changes. While talking, Lu Erlong put the 20-year growth soul ring in his hand back into the storage area of the Dungeon Diary Mall. This is also a benefit for owners of copies of the diary. All items obtained in the diary system can be placed in the storage area of this copy diary mall for free. Can't this growable soul ring be able to change its color at any time according to one's own wishes? Xiao Wu was a little confused. You didn't see clearly. The condition for changing the color of a growable soul ring is that it cannot exceed the current maximum age of the growable soul ring. For example, a 1000-year level growable soul ring can change between the three colors of white, yellow, and purple as you wish. A 10-year level growable soul ring can only be white. Ning Rongrong said. So that's it. Xiao Wu nodded. Her previous thoughts were focused on the three words can grow, and she only glanced at changing the color of her soul ring. Okay. It's getting late. I want to go back. You three should also go to bed early. After saying that, Lu Erlong put on his boots and left the room where Xiao Wu and the others lived. Early the next morning, after practicing all night, Shen Fan opened his eyes and did not talk to the diary system. He just ate a few buns at will, took out his diary, and started writing a diary for a new day. Sure enough, Krypton gold makes me strong. I just wrote a diary for one day yesterday, and I reached the 7th level of the White Mystic Realm from an ordinary person without any cultivation. If this is replaced by the Soul Master's training system, it is equivalent to being promoted to 7 levels in one day. According to this progress, if I write another day of diary today, I will be able to break through to the Lanxian realm tomorrow. As soon as I break through to the Lanxian realm, I will leave the mountain. After all, living in a protective circle is really boring. Apart from writing diaries, the only thing I can do is looking at the sky with both eyes relies on imagination. With plenty of food and clothing, my right hand is tired. Billions of soldiers will fall everywhere. Qing Shu sighs in despair. The girls, where did this old CG come from? By the way, after I get out of the protective circle tomorrow, my first stop should be to go to the Botanical College. Douluo plant team girls, what's going on? Douluo and the other girls asked, does the Botanical College have any treasures, or is there something special about it? Not that there is anything different about the Botanical College. I mainly want to confirm whether this Douluo world is a novel world or an animation world. Because, all the members of this plant Sentai in the novel world are male, while all the members of this plant Sentai in the anime world are female. The girls of Douluo plant team, is there still such a thing? Douluo and the other girls, that's it. However, in this elite competition, the plant team of the Botanical College is quite unlucky. Whether it's in the world of novels or animation, I've always been fooled by people like Ma Hongjun. Douluo Shrek Sanmei, is Ma Hongjun's Mandarin so strong, that the girls of Douluo plant team, how is that possible? Speaking of Ma Hongjun, this guy was very despised in the novels written by Douluo in the original world. Basically, out of 100 fan books, 99 of them despise him, and one of them directly scolds him. However, if you ask me, Ma Hongjun is actually the most normal person among Douluo and Shrek's 7 monsters. The remaining Shrek 6 monsters, such as Dai Mubai, are okay to be brothers with him. He is relatively loyal, but apart from his loyalty, the rest are all shortcomings. The 3 things that impressed me the most about Dai Mubai. The first thing is that Davis, who was afraid of his eldest brother, abandoned his fiancée Zhu Zhuqing in order to avoid him, and ran outside to have fun alone. He often attended several shows a day, completely ignoring that his fiancée was in Xingluo. What kind of dangerous situation are you facing? The second thing is that women are not counted as population, but as resources. The third thing, he said to Ning Rongrong, "If you piss me off, be careful what I do to you first and then the next." When I saw this, I was completely shocked. Emperor Xinglua didn't even dare to offend Ning Rongrong. How did you, a third prince who ran away, get the confidence to say this? You know, the Qibao glazed sect wants to destroy your Xinglua royal family, and it will take no more than 3 minutes at most. As long as Bone Douluo and Sword Douluo teleport in front of Emperor Xinglua, and Sword Douluo swings his sword at Emperor Xinglua may not even know how he was killed. It wasn't until later that I saw what everyone was saying, that without Wuhuan Palace's obstruction, Tiando would have been destroyed by Xinglua long ago, that I realized why Dai Mubai would say such mindless words. Because the entire Star Luo, from the royal family to the common people, are all immersed in the dreams they have weaved for themselves. In a word, the more stupid you are, the more fearless you are. Douluo yi zhu zhu qing. Douluo yi ning rongrong. The two looked at each other. Next is Oscar. This person's reputation in Douluo Yi's novels is completely opposite to Ma Hongjuan's. Unfortunately, most people have been fooled by Oscar's disguise. If others are bad in the open, then Oscar is bad in secret, which is commonly known as insidious. Take the soul hunting when Xiao Wu was taken away by the Titan ape as an example. During the process, the Shrek 7 devils and Zhao Wuji stopped to eat and rest in a small town outside the Star Forest. In line with what Flanders said, they did not dare to cause trouble. With the words mediocre, the Shrek 7 devils deliberately went to find trouble with the students of Tsanhui Academy. How did Oscar behave at this time? It can only be said that his performance was even more exciting than that of Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun, who provoked the anger of Tsanhui Academy. At that time, Oscar watched with a smile as Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun bullied the students from Tsanhui Academy in front, while with a mysterious look on his face he told Tang San sitting next to him that he had seen a good show.